Rachel Hunter. My husband and I are the executive pastors at Grace Church, and I want to thank Suzanne for asking me to join in this Women's March. I love this idea, Suzanne. I love you, and I love She Is Ministries. You're a blessing. I just want to share the scripture that God gave me during a really tough time in my life, and I adopted it as my life verse, and it's 2 Corinthians 9:8. And God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. Have you ever felt like you didn't have all you needed? I know I have, especially when we were trying to have children. My husband and I wanted to start a family, and month after month, and then year after year, nothing was happening. It was one of the darkest times of my life, honestly. I felt like I didn't have all I needed, and I felt like I couldn't abound in every good work. There were times I wanted to quit everything. There were times when I wanted to be completely self-centered and depressed and just give up on everything. But God gave me that verse, and He told me His grace empowers me. His grace is what enables me to do all the things that He asked me to do all the things I need to do. And so I held on to that verse, knowing that it wasn't going to change some of my emotions, but it was going to empower me to walk through them, even when I'm struggling with those emotions. One of the first times I realized I had some emotions of anger and doubt and questioning God's goodness. We were in church and we were singing the song, He's All I Need. It says, He's all I need, He's all I need, Jesus is all I need. And I sang the first line, and then I stopped because I realized that my heart wasn't resonating with that. I did not feel like Jesus was all I needed because I so desired children. And He was not answering my prayer. He wasn't being the good father that I felt He should be in that time, even though He was. But those were the emotions I was struggling with. And I felt like at that moment, I was questioning the goodness of God. And that scared me, honestly. That's when God reminded me of His goodness and reminded me of His grace. He showed me 2 Corinthians 9:8 and said, Rachel, you just have to lean on me in your own strength and in your own faith, even in your own power. You can't do it. You cannot walk through this season that you're walking through. And God just really showed me that I have to rely on His grace. I don't know what you're going through today. Maybe it's a prayer that you've been praying, and like me, it's been years, like I was going through. Maybe it's been years. Maybe you're believing for your marriage. Maybe you're believing for the salvation of your spouse. Maybe you're believing for the salvation of a family member, of a child. Maybe you're believing for healing and you haven't seen that come yet. Maybe you're walking through the darkest hours of your life, whether that's through depression or physical sickness, financial situations, whatever it is. Know that God is walking with you. Know that God can carry you by His grace when you feel like you can't put one foot in front of the other. As long as you depend on Him, as long as you ask for Him to give you that grace, knowing that you need it, knowing that you want to abound in every good work, knowing that you want to be that wife, that mother, that daughter, that friend that you want to be. His grace will empower you to be that. So I just want to encourage you with that. Maybe you want to do like I did and adopt that verse as your life verse for this season. I do want to tell you that my prayers were finally answered after many failed procedures with infertility doctors, after several failed adoptions, after 8 years of trying and praying and believing. God did answer our prayer. And he gave us two wonderful daughters. We had twins, and we had been married 15 years by the time we had them. But God is faithful. I look back on that season of my life, and I do remember the heartache, but even more than that, I remember God's grace. I remember him walking with me. I remember him carrying me at times, and I remember him empowering me to faith it, to not live by my emotions, even though they were real, but to faith it, to keep praising even when I didn't feel it, to keep walking even when I didn't want to keep being the friend, the pastor, the mentor, all of those things that I needed to be, to keep being those by his grace, and that he would continue to give me that grace and empower me for the next moment, and in the next moment, and then the next moment. So know that he will do that for you. Whatever it is that you're facing right now, know that God is with you and that he will empower you by his grace. Have a blessed day.